Pnawn da. Good afternoon, croeso, welcome to the Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council's Cabinet meeting of Wednesday, the 18th of September 2024. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcast via the authority's internet site. The images and sound recording may also be used for training purposes within the authority. Have we got any apologies for absence?
Yes, Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Julia Jenkins, who is unwell.
Yeah. Any declarations of interest? Nope. None. Great. Okay. Item 3. Establishment of a Welsh medium learning resources base at Ysgol Gymraeg Rhyd y Grig. To consider the report of the Director of Education, Councillor Michelle Simmons is taking it for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair. The summary of the report for the establishment of a Welsh medium learning resource base at Ysgol Gymraeg Rhyd y Grig. This report provides the outcome of the statutory consultation for the establishment of a Welsh medium learning resource base for pupils with additional learning needs at Ysgol Gymraeg Rhyd y Grig. 91% of responses to the consultation are in favour of establishing a Welsh medium learning resource base at Ysgol Gymraeg Rhyd y Grig. In order to progress this to the next stage, a statutory notice detailing the proposal needs to be published, followed by a 28-day objection period. Following this, a final report will be brought to Cabinet to determine whether or not to establish the Welsh medium learning resource base at Ysgol Gymraeg Rhyd y Grig from September 2025. There are 3 recommendations, Chair. 2.1, the information contained within the consultation report Appendix 2 be noted. 2.2, the establishment of a Welsh medium learning resources base at Ysgol Rhyd y Grig be approved. 2.3, the issuing of an appropriate statutory notice in accordance with the School Organisation Code 011/2018 be approved. I move, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Simmons. Have we got a seconder?
Happy to second, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. Have we got any questions? I have one for Sue. Sue, could you describe how much we need a Welsh language learning resource base in the borough, please?
Currently, there is no provision for children who are in Welsh medium education with have their additional learning needs met within the language of their choice of education, which is obviously Welsh for the parents. So we do find that significant numbers of children who've started their education through the medium of Welsh, who might have significant need on the autistic spectrum or complex needs, do actually move back into the English medium. And that in itself provides difficulties because they've had a number of years of education through the medium of Welsh, and then they're now going into the English medium sector, which takes them time to settle. So it is a priority for us to establish this Welsh medium learning resource base. It has been needed for a long time. It is part of our Welsh education strategic plan, and I'm hoping that we can get this passed so the children can actually have their additional learning needs met in the language of their choice.
Diolch yn fawr, Sue. Have we got any comments? Councillor Hughes?
It's lovely to see this in the plan, and how Sue described there, it's only going to be a benefit to our young children, which is excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Sue, for that.
Da iawn, Councillor Hughes. Shall we take it to the vote then, please? All those in favour? Is there hands or?
Are we just doing a show of hands? No, we've got, right, there you are. You vote on your...
Hey, show of hands. Wash your mouth, though.
Yeah.
We are carried.
Da iawn. Okay, next item on the agenda is the food hygiene rating scheme, re-rating fees. And again, I believe it's Councillor Simmons taking the report.
Thank you, Chair. The food hygiene rating scheme re-rating fees. Summary of the report. The Food Hygiene Rating Wales Act 2013 came into force on the 4th of March 2013 and established a food hygiene rating scheme for Wales. Following the issuing of a food hygiene rating, a food operator has the right to request a re-rating visit within the Act. Such a request can be made at any time provided certain conditions are met. Businesses can be charged for this re-rating visit, the fee for which is to be determined nationally by the All Wales Food Safety Technical Panel. The current charge for a re-rating inspection is set across Wales at £180. This fee has not changed since the introduction of the rating scheme. A review of the current rating fee has been conducted by the All Wales Food Safety Technical Panel, and they have proposed a new fee of £255 to take effect from the 1st of October 2024. There are two recommendations, Chair. 2.1, a new fee of £255 for a re-rating inspection commencing from the 1st of October 2024 be approved. And 2.2, the giving of delegated authority to the Head of Public Protection to review and amend, if necessary, re-rating inspection changes in line with the recommendations from the All Wales Food Safety Technical Panel be approved. I move, Chair.
Councillor Hughes in a second.
Second that, please, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Hughes. Have we got any questions on the report? Councillor Barry.
Just a one, Chair. In terms of any increase in the fee, where does this sit with our inflationary policy we introduced a number of years ago, or are we bound by the legislation just to charge what is within the legislation? I'm not quite sure.
Good afternoon. The fees will have gone through a process to ensure that we're only able to charge for the regime. I have checked, and we wouldn't be able to raise the fees by inflationary amount unless it was agreed across Wales, because there would be a variation between businesses, and the whole point of doing it across Wales is to have a level playing field.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Thanks very much.
Any further questions? No? Any comments? No? Let's take that to the vote then, please.
And that's carried, Chair.
Thank you. Items, sorry. Public Health Act 2017, special procedures, licence fees. To enable the report of the Deputy Chief Executive, again, it's Councillor Simmons.
Thank you again, Chair. The Public Health Act 2017 Special Procedures Licence Fees. The summary of the report. The Public Health Wales Act received royal assent in July 2017. Part 4 of the Act requires a mandatory licensing scheme for practitioners and businesses carrying out special procedures in Wales. Special procedures include those practices currently requiring registration under the Local Government Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1982, namely tattooing, including semi-permanent makeup, body piercing, acupuncture and electrolysis. Sorry, I had to think about that one then. Welsh Government are currently consulting on the introduction of regulations enacting the requirements outlined in Schedule 4 of the Act. Currently registered practitioners will need to transition to the new mandatory system, and time will be allowed for those practitioners and their premises to be assessed by LAs and moved on to the new licensing system. Local authorities will be responsible for the issue and enforcement of the licensing requirements and for keeping up to date a public register. Authorities can charge a fee for the issue and variation of licences. Public Protection Wales, a professional body representing heads of service across Wales, have carried out a review of the likely resource implications of introduction of the new licensing scheme, with a view to the proposal of a fee schedule that will be consistent across Wales. This fee will be continually reviewed during the implementation process. It is envisaged that the regulations will come into force from the end of November. To ensure a seamless transition to the new licensing scheme, it is proposed that the Head of Public Protection be given delegated authority to introduce the licence fee structure proposed by Public Protection Wales. It is further proposed that the delegated authority is given to the Head of Public Protection to review and amend licence fees in line with the recommendations from Public Protection Wales. There are two recommendations, Chair. 2.1. The giving of delegated authority to the Head of Public Protection to introduce fees relating to the licensing of special procedures in line with the recommendations of Public Protection Wales be approved. And 2.2. The giving of delegated authority to the Head of Public Protection to review and amend, if necessary, licence fees relating to special procedures in line with recommendations from Public Protection Wales be approved. I move, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Simmons. For a seconder? Councillor Hughes?
Second that, and just state I'm glad I haven't got any declaration of interest in that one.
We should have considered that before we went to the vote, I think. Okay. Have we got any questions? No. I got one. Obviously, this couldn't have come soon enough. It's surprising it's taken so long. People's safety is paramount. So I suppose, Sean, you might be taking this for Paul today. Your view as being a senior member of the environmental health team, what good will this do for our community?
For businesses, it will create some consistency of standards across this industry. And this report obviously specifically talks about the fees. Again, there's a consistency across Wales on this. But for the greater good, for protection of public health, it's the infection protection control to ensure that wherever you have your tattoo or whatever special procedure you're doing, so hopefully in a safe place. And this provides some reassurance on that.
Fantastic. Okay, any further questions? No? Any comments? No. Let's go straight to the vote then. Thank you. Lovely. Okay. Item 6, we have some information reports. Item 6 is the Care Inspector Wales Joint Inspection with a read, very positive report. Item 7, Early Years Partnership Plan Update. And item 8, the appointment of local authority governors. Item 9, to deal with any other urgent business deemed urgent by the Chair. I have none, but we just want to make a few messages as this is our last Cabinet meeting as a group. So I'm going to hand over to Councillor Andrew Barry to start, and then we'll move around the room.
Lovely, thank you, Chair. Okay, first of all, I want to say it's been the greatest privilege to serve the residents and communities of Merthyr Tydfil over the past 7.5 years, overseeing and setting our authority's budget year on year. I've got to mention Claire in the time she's allowed me to do this, and Jack and Joe and Nell and Beth for the support that they've given. It's a full-time and more role to do, so there's got to be understanding on the family side as well. Can I thank you, Ellis, for your professionalism, your level-headed nature in dealing with, yes, budget setting and the day-to-day operations, but we've had to deal also with the pandemic, Storm Dennis, the cost of living crisis, and the turmoil and disruption that we had to deal with because of the ill-fated, ill-conceived Leisure Trust and Frost of Fran. Not always easy. I'm not always easy to deal with, I know. So thank you for your support. Caris, for your patience and more patience as the time's gone by over the years, and I'll miss our council day chats. Hannah, thank you for your diligence and professionalism on all matters HR related, and the accountancy team. I need a special mention from me, who have been the backbone to this authority over the past 7.5 years, from Steve Jones to Liam Hull, and now Barry Davis, our interim 151 officer, but not forgetting Adele, Adam and Ian for their unwavering support through the difficulties of budget setting. And obviously all the staff here at the authority who go over and beyond. So thank you to all for our time in administration. It has been, in the most part, a painful exercise in having to continually innovate and balance the 170 million pound budget. And I and the independent group like to think we have diligently gone about the task. This and the previous independent administration has been prudent with the use of resources over the past 7.5 years. We have used reserves, replenished them, which has been one of our key successes in balancing all of our budgets to keep the financial pain to a minimum for all our residents. The financial year 24-25, we're on target to bring in yet another surplus for this year, reaching 7 surpluses in a row. Again, the operational budget reserve will be healthy at healthy levels, and the general reserve, which sits in the background providing our financial security, is well within policy parameters to protect the residents of this authority as best we can from the economic and political turmoil that surround them. We as an administration have always used fiscal and economic drivers for our decision-making process. My worry with the new administration is that the budget will be set with political drivers. One of the moments in our tenure, the pandemic, where we gave out tens of millions of pounds worth of grants and rebates to the businesses and residents of Merthyr, it was just a privilege and an honour to front up that team and provide that support to our residents over what was an unprecedented time. Currently, schools face increasing costs with additional learning needs, school transport costs, redundancies, increasing class sizes will put more pressure on teachers. However, placing nearly £2 million back into education will mean around a 7% increase in council tax. Without other financial pressures considered, council tax could reach around 15% or approximately an additional £325 per annum on a Band D property. Budget setting is a balanced approach. It's about having a balanced approach, not a political focus. Within social services, children looked after, pressures with the authority having imposed on us pay increases, energy costs rising, a strangulation on financing local authorities ongoing. This budget was to be the most challenging yet, but we did have a plan. The people of Merthyr Tydfil deserve the best services. However, there are massive challenges ahead, and I wish the Labour administration the best in trying to rise to those challenges. We as an administration have done the best we can on limited resources, and as Cabinet Member for Finance, Governance and Resources, I will be resigning following full council this evening because of the loss of the by-election at Bedlinog and Trelewis with a turnout of just over 2 out of 10 people. A disgraceful but completely understandable stance by the people of the Lower Valley. And of course, Councillors Declan Salmon and Paula Leighton leaving the independent group, enabling Labour to take control of the administration. We now pass that baton to Labour with our best wishes. I look forward to being the lead independent group providing rigorous opposition to the Labour rank and file. They say a week in politics is a long time. 7.5 years is a relative lifetime, and that has now come to, I like to think, a temporary halt. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. Councillor Hughes?
Yeah, well, I get 3 pages, but after that, I won't read that, I can tell you. I'm only going to keep it short. I've been a cabinet member now for 7.5 years. It's been a privilege. Working with neighbourhood services and working closely with Judith and her team. I'd just like to point out 1 or 2 little things that we've done as a team together. Completion of 46 storm drainage schemes across the borough, totaling £12.74 million involving culvert repairs, protection of bridges, flood defensive schemes, reinstatement of river embankments, stabilisation of landslip areas, including Vina Road, which we were happy to go up yesterday and have a photo taken. So it'd be good for the people in Ponstick to have their road back open. Also, due to the sustained investment in highways, there have been an increase in the highway improvements, leading to a reduction in highway claims against the authority, with no claims being made in 2021 to 2022 was the first ever year when no claims were made. So very proud of that. And establishment of a flood monitoring system on the high-risk culverts. One thing I like to bring to attention was during the pandemic, as an authority, we was #1 in Wales for food distribution. #1 in Wales for the first in Wales to do mass testing. #1 for business grants. And #1 for our partnership working with our communities. So I think that's pretty good and decent, something to be proud of. So I too will be resigning. Won't be the first time, I will resign once before. So I will be resigning as I'm told tonight, and wish the Labour Party, the administration, all the best in what they do with the authority. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hughes. And finally, Councillor Simmons.
Thank you, Chair. Following recent events and the resignation of the leader, Councillor Geraint Thomas, sadly it leaves the Cabinet members with no choice but to step back and hand over the administration to Labour. Since my election in May 2022, I embraced not only my councillor role and responsibility, but I have also had the privilege and honour in representing the residents of the borough by being appointed as Cabinet Member for Housing, Regeneration and Public Protection. I have brought to this role my economic and business acumen, not a political toe the line. I have given this role my all, and I need to thank my family for their complete support. Dan has undoubtedly had my back and continues to be my rock. A heartfelt thanks to my officers for their professionalism, their time and their commitment. I am extremely proud of what has been achieved under my watch and what works are planned to come to fruition. It has been a journey, and certainly not without its challenges, but I have been delighted with the many successes and the benefits these have brought to the residents of Merthyr Tydfil. The consequence of me stepping away from the Cabinet position is that the south end of the borough, and in particular my ward of Bedlinog and Trillywes, will no longer have my strategic voice shaping our communities. But I will be ensuring my voice is not lost within the council and we are not the forgotten. Thank you, Chair.
Can I just say one thing? I better thank my wife because one of the team.
I was going to say you can't speak to
But I can better thank her because they all thank me.
He's always cheeky.
I don't know tea, otherwise.
He always gets the last word. Always. No, Councillor Julia Jenkins can't be with us today because she's not very well, and I know she's very proud of what she's done as well over the last 2.5 years. And we also got to thank Councillor Michelle Jones, who formed part of Cabinet for almost 2 years. But for me, 7.5 years, a constant in the Cabinet, as Cabinet Member for Regeneration, Public Protection, Housing, and quite lately, education. I thought I was part of the furniture. So when I became the chair of the Cabinet and the leader, I just thought that was just normal. As you all said, proud records. You've got very, very proud records. And I've got to thank our senior team of directors, chief executive, monitoring officer, for all the support they give us. But I think most importantly, we've got to thank all the staff of the council, all the staff at the schools, and most importantly, the residents of Merthyr Tydfil who have given us their support. So, on that note, can I ask someone for section 100, please?
Proposed section 100, Chair.
Have we got a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Hughes. Shall we take that to the vote?
carried, Chair. So we need to move into closed sessions.
Thank you.
And democratic communities can ensure all members of the public